Okay, here we're going to practice setting up some percent proportions. So we have, and it says write unknown for the value that's not given, and do not try to solve for the unknown. So this is just a setting up. We are not actually solving. Okay, so if we'll refresh back, remember that the way we're going to set these up is we write the part is to the whole as the percent is to 100, those comparisons. So as I try to write this proportion, I'm going to go ahead and write my blanks for our numerators and denominators, and I'm going to go ahead and put the 100 down here on the bottom, because we know it's got to be part is to the whole as a percent is to 100. Now, looking at our problem here, it says 10% of how many bicycles is 60 bicycles. So again, the percent is probably the easiest thing to recognize out of here. We know we're dealing with 10%. So that tells us that 10 goes on top of 100 here. Now we have to figure out what is the part and what is the whole. So when it says of how many bicycles is 60, we need to know, is 60 the entire amount of bicycles, or is it a portion of the amount of bicycles? So if we go back and read this again, 10% of how many bicycles is 60. Well, that's telling us that 60 is a portion of how many bicycles. So 60 is our part, and the whole is what we don't know. Now, in other books that I've seen, instead of saying part and whole, sometimes they say is and of. So that might help out slightly also. We're talking about a portion of the whole. So maybe you can think about things that way also. Okay, let's look at this one. It says, what is 25% of 970? So again, we're going to have our percent proportion. So I'm going to go ahead and draw in what we know. And the percent, again, is always the easiest thing to write in because it has the percent symbol. There's no question about what it is. So our percent goes over 100. Now we need to figure out what is the part and what is the whole. So here they're saying, what is 25% of $970? So is $970 the entire amount, or is it the portion of the whole? Well, this is telling us that this is what is a percentage of $970. That's the whole amount. Again, you can think of it as is and of. What is of the whole 970? So what is the portion, the smaller portion? We don't know. So that would be our unknown. Now, since we're not solving these, we're just setting them up, and that's all. Okay, let's try one more. This one says, what percent of $296 is 177? So again, we're going to create our proportion, putting 100 in the bottom. So now I said percent is always the easiest one to write in first. This is asking us what percent. Well, it didn't give us a percentage here. So that is our unknown amount. Now we have to figure out the part and the whole, or you can think of it as the is and the of. And if you think about it that way, is 177, that is our part, or our is. Of 296, that's our whole, or our of part. So to set up that proportion, it would look like this.